Bye bye. No.
Just the big ones there.
Yeah. He's in with his ladies. We're on the dangerous bit.
There was signs.
James is really annoyed at me.
There was signs.
There were signs for people who aren't chaotic Irish people. Hello, moo cows. Oh. Oh. You can do it there now. Get up there now. Wow. Oh, that mist is just... Huh?
Should the mist will get this way?
I don't know. Hello and welcome to the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast with me, Grace. And you'll have seen from the video at the start of this podcast that I actually got to travel again. So we went to, sorry, my throat's a bit funny, not from the corona, just, I don't know why. But yeah, we went to the Cliffs of Moher yesterday. It was absolutely beautiful. I've taken a week off to take a little bit of a breather from work. And it's also James's birthday, so we're celebrating this week. I got him a giant Lego present, so that'll keep him entertained. And so it's just really nice to have a week together off. We're not going anywhere, can't really go anywhere. So we're just going to like local places, which is really lovely. There he is back. But, oh no, he's just gone. Oh, all right. He was waiting until I started, the cheeky bugger. Anyway, I'll leave that in so you can see that. He gets a real kick out of it. So I have been working away. I finished off the body on this garment, which is in a My Cottage number 9 bag. It's one of her beautiful bags. She's got a new design out now, those, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But I finished the body on my... These bags get so heavy because I put everything in them because they're so amazing. They're like handbags. Yeah, so this is the body of my Winterfell sweater. Now the colour there is kind of more grey for some reason, but it's like a tealy petrol-y blue. It's kind of showing it maybe more green on there. I don't know how to show it that it's actually not that. Anyway, but it is beautiful. I finished the body. I did knit it in the round, so I am going to cut up the front there, and I've got my really cute little stitch marker from the Lonely Knitter, which is so adorable. It's so cute. So yeah, and I haven't picked up the sleeves because I haven't been emotionally in that place yet. You know what I'm talking about. So yes, I'll get there one day. Yeah, so that's where I was the last time I talked to you, and I finished that off. But I finished that off maybe a week or two ago. Life's been a bit crazy, hasn't it? The world has come to the realization that racism is bad. Yeah, about time. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of people are saying no, but okay. So that's a bit crazy, isn't it? It's not very emotionally okay, but anyway. Oh, the type of yarn that I'm talking about is Outlaw yarn. It's in the NYX colorway, and this is a the Prosperine colorway on the NYX base. The NYX base is 70% Polworth and 30% silk. And I got 8 of these, and I think I have used, how many have I left? I think I've got 3 left, so they should do the sleeves. Yeah, I think I've got 3 left, definitely. There's another one inside I haven't used. So I used, is that 6 on the body then? I did make it a bit longer than the pattern, and I did start doing a bit of a weird, so it's an A-line shape, right? But I think I didn't read patterns because I don't read patterns. I start at the top, I get into the rhythm of it, and then I think by about here, I'm like, I know it, flume. And then I make all my mistakes, but I live with them most of the time, so life's a bit easier that way. So I was knitting that on a 4.5 millimeter needle. Now the pattern set is written for a sport weight, but this is a DK, and the pattern says to knit it, or to get your gauge on I think it was like a 3.75 or maybe a 4 millimeter. So do I have it? Go she. Gamla scale. Got to a yenuf. Okay, I don't have the bit at the start because I must have started it. Yeah, I did a little swatch anyway, and I got gauge I got gauge with a slightly bigger. No, hang on, sorry. What I did was I knit a smaller size on the larger needle. On larger yarn. So when I knit the little gauge swatch, my gauge was a little bit too high, and let's make it up because I can't remember it off the top of my head now. It was a while ago that I started this. So let's say I knit a little 4" by 4" square, and in the inches, I got 24 inches per for every 4 inches across, 24 stitches for every 4 inches across. So in every inch I had 4.5 inches in there, or is it 5.5? Yeah, it would be 5. It would be 6 stitches this is going to complicate things. But anyway, it would be 6 stitches per inch. Now, if you multiply that out to 100 inches across my bust there, that would give you the pattern. That would give you how many stitches you needed to have at this level. So then I went back in and I had a look at the pattern, which size would I need to cast on for the bust to have that many stitches. And then I chose that pattern. I chose that size. So I didn't necessarily go, I'm a medium, cast on a medium. I did a little bit of maths. I did my gauge swatch. I figured out what my gauge was in comparison to the sizing, and then I went with that. So I think I can't even remember which size I cast on. 1 second, I must have circled it. So, and then I don't actually know. Have I got another piece of paper? So, I can't remember. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I was casting on the 6th size through, and yeah, it's gonna work out fine because I've been trying it on the whole time. Another great thing about top down is once you get your starting off numbers, you just try it on and stop when you need to. So that makes me feel better. Oops. Does that make any sense? Do let me know if it doesn't make sense, and I'll try to explain it a little bit better next time. So anyway, yeah, I haven't got around to the sleeves yet because my brain is not in the right place because the world's on fire. But it's Pride Month, and did you know that Pride was started by Black trans women, the most vulnerable people in society, because the average lifespan in America of a Black trans woman is 35. Did you know that? That's the longest age. That's how long they're going to live, apparently, according to the statistics. That's not okay. Pride. We got to start that. Okay, we got to keep that going. So my next one there, I think I'm just going to just openly start sprinkling in just social aspects of things that are going on in the world, because I'm sorry, but if you're chatting away about stuff and pretending that you don't know what's happening or you can't see what's happening in the world, it's just the most unauthentic thing in the world, don't you think? I mean, honest to God, you can't just sit around ignoring it. I mean, you can if you want to be that type of person, but I don't think I physically can be that type of person. It just feels so wrong just to ignore suffering. I don't like it. I don't get it. Next is the new bag by My Cottage Number 9. This is my friend here in Limerick. Terry is her name. She is a beautiful bag designer. My Cottage Number 9. So this one is kind of like a Japanese style bento type bag. I don't know if she called it that, but that's what I've called it. But it's got these beautiful ginkgo leaves on there. And ginkgo for me, it's actually, she sent this out to me as a birthday present, I think. Unless, send me the bill if it isn't, Terry. But it's a beautiful tree. We've got one that my dad planted in the garden years ago now, but it's absolutely flourished. But apparently it is a tree that hasn't changed in over 10 million years or something like that. It has not changed one bit. It's like genetically perfect. So it hasn't evolved at all. Like these leaves shapes have been found beside dinosaurs and beside tiny little fossils of sea creatures and things like that from millions of years ago. So it's just the most incredible plant. And I had actually asked her, because I am knitting this project from my friend Jessica, and this is probably the project that I've started and I've been knitting on the most since I was talking to you last. It is a beautiful yarn that is right, so I'll start with the knitting and then we'll get onto the bag and explain why it's so special. So my friend Jessica, she lives in Limerick. She's from Korea, and she's been knitting for years and years and years. And she showed up at my knit night, and she started showing us all her incredible things. And she just makes up all these patterns, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I have them all written down, but I never did anything with them." So I've taken it on. It's my personal responsibility to harass her as much as possible to get them on Ravelry, because they are amazing. So I sent her to a couple of people who are really excellent tech editors, May Mathemanitter, and I think there's Undyed. I think she might have found her on her own. Anyway, she's stunning. So first off, she designed this really beautiful, elegant shawl, which is quite simple in its design, which is really nice for like your first design, but it's also just the most elegant thing I've ever seen. She's at the moment, actually, she's just released her new pattern, and she gave me her sample as a demonstration for a yoke. So this is her her little swatch. I can't believe she just gave it to me, but she's after, and she named this pattern is called She Liked It sweater, because she knit it for a friend, because she thought it was a cardigan, because her friend thought that cardigans were for old people. So Jess took it on into her own mind and decided to make something that she would love, and I love it. I'm definitely casting that on. But this one is called the accordion shawl, or the accordion, and her name on Ravelry and on Instagram is Jessica J Young, and I'm going to pop it into the down bar. You can see everything I'm talking about down below. But actually, this is flying. Oh, this is amazing. I love this. I cannot wait until this is blocked out. It is a really addictive, simple, easy lace pattern, which I am obsessed with. I can't believe how fast I'm knitting this. These double eyelets are the most satisfying things on earth. I really, really like them. And the edges are just really simple and neat as well. We've got, I like the back as well. The back has this sort of like bubbly ridge, which I don't know, when it comes together, when it squishes up together, it just makes this really satisfying surface. I really like that. So the pattern is beautiful. I cannot believe it's her first pattern. It's so, so lovely. So I really recommend it. It's called the accordion. It'll be linked down below. I have been using this amazing yarn that I bought in Yarn Folk up in Belfast, 2 years ago, maybe now, 3 years ago, maybe now. And it was actually a kit for a little top that I really wanted to knit, but I just never got around to knit. So it was sitting in my stash looking beautiful and stunning, and I just had to pull it out. So Jessica is the pattern is designed for a high silk content yarn because of the drape. So this yarn is perfect actually. This is the Bear and Sheep's Clothing in the truffle colorway. It's this beautiful mauve. It's absolutely beautiful. This like soft purpley pink. It's coming out a bit orange yellow there. It's coming a little bit warm, but it is beautiful. Now, do you see at the side? So it's a singles, and it is 50% fine merino, 50% mulberry silk. It's 495 meters and 100 grams, and this is the Bare Luxury base. So it's a singles yarn, which makes me worry a little bit because it was in a bag which was just cotton, and it kept on bouncing around in the bag, and it started to kind of, just fuzz up a tiny bit. Can you see the little fuzz there compared to here? It's really clear and clean, and then this is like the fuzz, and I was like, So just like, I know that the shawl that I'm knitting, it's not going to be a high friction area. It's just going to be draped. That's why I picked the silk, and that's why I picked the single. But while it's in the bag, I don't want it necessarily to get all fully and pilly while it's in the bag. So And what I was doing is I had it in this bag that somebody gave me as part of, I can't remember who gave it to me actually, but I had it in one of these like shopping bags, and I was like, I really miss having a nice silky bag. I really wanted a bag, a really nice bag that had either a satiny or a silky finish inside, so it would be soft and slippy and you wouldn't get that friction. So I asked Terry, and then Terry came up with this, and it's this absolutely gorgeous silk lining on the inside, and it's so soft. It's amazing. So if you are, and I have noticed a difference already, you know, I have really noticed a difference. So if you are working on something with a high content of, like, I mean, even any single, I think a single at all would benefit from like a satin lined bag. You know what I mean? It makes sense, doesn't it? Because I think if it's bouncing around inside in a cotton bag, or a bag with, you know, it will start that friction. So can I show you though how this closes? So it's got 4 tabs on top, and then it turns into this beautiful little bento-y like little, oh, and it just sits perfectly. It sits perfectly. It's really good for like knit nights or bringing to coffee shops. Coffee shops. I miss coffee shops so much. I am actually in agony without, and I didn't even go to them much, but I just loved the fact that I could go sit down. If I had a day off, I could go to a coffee shop, sit down, put in my earphones and just knit, have coffee and cake, and one day. So anyway, the bottom is silk as well. It's really lovely. It's kind of like a raw silk she has there. It's just beautiful. I love the way it changes colours. That's doing that in real life as well as on screen. So yeah, so I'm really loving this. So this is going to be, I forgot to tell you what type of shawl it is. And I got this. Let's show you. So it blocks out lovely. So it blocks out really nice. And yeah, so this is the schematic there. So you can choose how long you want it. And so it's an asymmetrical shawl. So it starts this side and then it goes however long you want. I'm assuming this one will get you one skein, and then this one will be 2 skein. Does that make sense? Is that right now, Jessica? Have I made that up? Right. Small and large. Yeah, I think it just, I'm not sure actually. It might be 2 skeins. I would definitely get 2 skeins, to be honest. Just, I don't know, like you could do a shawlette, but the increases are quite fast, you know, so it's not like a slow increase. It does increase quite fast. So it's not like a small, long, thin thing. It's kind of a more chunky shawl, which is something I really like, because I think those small shawlettes are grand. But you know, I'm just a bigger lady. They just vanish. They look like little neckties on me. So that's not what you need. Yeah, a long right triangle shaped shawl. The accordion in the picture is a large version made with 3 skeins of merino silk fingering weight yarn. So this is the picture, which is wrapped around loads of times. So I've got 2 skeins and a small little skein of white, which I really want to put on the end and maybe do a little flare or a little flourish. I think that would be really cute, just to end it off with a little flare. So I'll do 2 skeins. So I'll probably get to the small size. Yeah, 2 skeins for the small size and 3 skeins for the large size, I think. To be safe, it's probably better to do it that way anyway, but I love it. It's just so lovely. And it's really like airy as well. So I imagine like it would last you a lot of seasons, you know, spring, summer. If you have a really hot summer, this wouldn't be great, but like in the evenings we get we get really cold weathers, and today we've really crappy weather. And then in winter, this would be a lovely layer as well on top, depending on how cold your winter is, of course. In Ireland, this is actually it's a 4-season scarf because it's crazy all the time. So anyway, so that is my super duper fun project. I am knitting that. Let me let you know. Look at me, I'm being quite good at this. I haven't done this in a long time, and I haven't done this properly in a long time either. So I'm knitting this on a 3.75mm needle. Is that what she says? I kind of fired ahead with that because she says a 3mm needle or a US 2.5. I did it on a slightly bigger needle size, but so I might run but the thing is, like, it's not, you can run out of yarn, I guess, if you don't want it to be exactly 96 centimeters or 120, you know, if you don't want it to be 180 centimeters exactly, you know. So I'm going to just kind of knit until I run out, basically. Then I'm going to switch to my white yarn and just knit a little frilly border, and then I'm done. So I'm definitely going to get a load out of 2 skeins because there's a load of eyelets in it. So actually you're getting a lot of mileage out of this yarn, you know. And I've knit this much. This is fingering weight yarn, by the way, so it's a fingering weight project. So I've knit this much, and I still have, love that sound of it opening. I still have this much left of the ball. I don't know what that is. It's probably 40 grams, maybe, possibly 50. So yes, I'm very excited about it. It's beautiful. I love it. Right, that's my knitting. That's what I've been doing. This is my kind of COVID project. I bring it into work and then I bring it home, but I don't like put it on any COVID patients. If I was editing this, I'd cut that out because I'm going to get comments, but I wash my hands before I start knitting. That's all you need. Honestly, lads, just wash your hands. Wash your hands, wear a mask when you're out, wear a mask when you're inside in a shop, in closed quarters with people. It works. And you're wearing it to protect other people. And other people are wearing it to protect you, which is why everyone has to wear it. Like vaccines. So, my next project. So, another... Oh my God, I'm just an advert for... You know when you have a bag maker in your town, you're like, hey, what if we did this? And then she just whips it out in 10 seconds. You're like, oh, I have all the bags by My Cottage Number 9 by Terry. This is the first one, first of these wraparound bags that I got. And it is possibly still my favorite. I love it so much. It is absolutely beautiful. It's really sturdy fabric and it's lovely. Like this is like I've washed this and everything. I just hand washed them, but about 3 times because it is white. My fault. And it comes up beautifully every time. Anyway, so this project has been in there for a long time. So this is my little Seashore sweater. I think it was the So Faded sweater that it was going to be, but it's going to be a cardigan. I am going to cut it up the front as usual. This is completely hand spun. I am a bit lazy now. I don't know if I'm going to stand up to show you this, but I might as well. Oh, I also have to show you. I did an interview with Linda of the Slow Wardrobe podcast, and she's just such an inspirational person, just an inspirational businesswoman. But I got this beautiful teal dress, so this is actually quite long, if you can see. Excuse the state of my floor, excuse my little slippers and my tracksuit bottoms. But this is super lovely. I just wear it all the time. I just love it so much. This is my colour. So this is the lovely teal colourway. And this is the teal dress in linen. It's perfect. So this is the this is kind of like a seashore seashore somewhere up in Connemara when the sea comes into the beach and then goes straight into bog. So I had this body knit for a long time, and then I realized I don't have enough for the sleeves. So I had been working on spinning my sleeves for quite a long time. If you've been watching me for I don't know, the last 4 months, 5 months maybe, you'll have seen that I have been working on it. I came to it there the other day, and then I realized, oh God, I thought I had 4 bobbins, but I only had 3. So I had to start another bobbin, and I hate doing the same thing twice, one after the other. And that's the only way you can do it. That's why I knit my socks 2 at a time. That's why I knit my sleeves 2 at a time, because when they're done, they're done. I don't have to do it again. I think it's my, I just get bored. I don't have any condition. I just get bored, and I just don't like doing the same thing again and again. So yeah, I went around and I did another bobbin, and I weighed it out, and I did all of my, I did all my roll legs, and I blended all my fabric again, and I blah, blah, blah. And I plied them together, and they came out lovely. And then I went and I was just lifting up some of the stuff. I was like, oh, that's nice now. I've done that. Thank God. All done there now. I'm just going to spin this last bit of, I'd had like a funky bat, and I was like, I'll just spin that. Lift up the funky bat. There was the 4th bobbin, fully spun, hiding. So what am I going to do with that extra bobbin now? I spun an extra bobbin for no reason. I did all that blending for no reason. Ah! Why is my life so hard? Anyway. So I plied these 2 bobbins. Now, the reason there was one bobbin that was just hanging, that last bobbin, it was such a killer to do. It was just hanging around. And it was my birthday in May. So James asked me, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, well, nothing, nothing. He was like, tell me what you want. I was like, well, it's way too expensive. So he was like, I'll just give you money towards it if it's too expensive. Don't worry about it. So I got a woolly winder. Oh my God. James, could you bring in my present of the woolly winder for me on my spinning wheel? Thank you. What good timing. Excellent timing. It's amazing. I will explain all about it in a minute. But basically, I'll show you the bobbins first. The bobbins are, a woolly winder basically means that the bobbins are filled evenly all the way across. It goes over and back and over and back, and it's driven by these little gears on the bobbins specifically. So you can't really use the other bobbins that work with it. Oh, thank you. I didn't mean him to take it off because I had a project on there, but that's fine. It's fine. He's very good, isn't he? So normally you have another thing there. So if you see here, this woolly winder has a grid there. So when the flyer and the bobbin moves, that stays in there. It does because it's held on by the thing. And yeah, but what you've got here, I'm cross-lacing this bit actually, but I'll leave that on. What you've got here is, if you see that hook, you've got only one hook on one side, and you've got this little guide which goes all the way up and all the way down. And as you turn it, it moves down. You see see the way it's winding, and as you turn it back, it winds all the way on like that. Sorry. Now it did cost about $400 for this and 2 bobbins. It was a lot of money. But it was my birthday. I just, I think I'm going to start talking about how much things cost, because this is literally a piece of beautiful engineering. It's absolutely beautiful. So normally you'd have bobbins with like hooks there, or you'd have like a pinch hook which you can move, but it involves you having to stop and move it and stop and move it and stop and move it. And sometimes you overfill a bit and you're like, oh God. And what happens mostly with this is that the bobbin isn't filled evenly. So you end up with, say if the bobbin fills up quite a lot here, but then there's a big gap in here, it can affect tension in the long run if you leave yarn on that bobbin in that state, because the yarn that has wrapped around there could get trapped under there. And it just, you know, when you fill your yarn evenly, it just means that there's not so much tension, that there's always going to be something, you know, it's kind of just a gentle situation. So these are what bobbins look like when they're done. Now the only issue is you can't tell that this is a gradient, because it started off dark and then it ended up white. And I do love a gradient bobbin where it starts off brown and then it goes to the white. Like, that's really satisfying to me. So but it does mean that the tension is better in the long run, and the yarn, I suppose, if you want it to last 50 million years, which I do, will probably, I don't know if that's scientifically proven now, but in my head it justifies the price. And also it just makes the spinning process absolutely mindless, and it's just beautiful because you don't have to stop. There's no reason for you to stop. So you can just spin and 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 spin. It is wonderful. So yes, I've been doing a lot of spinning. That brings me on to my next project, actually. So this, actually, let's just finish off. So this project, these are about 50 grams each. So I'm going to do 2 of those. And then, now that's not enough probably to get me down all the way to the sleeve. So this is the bottom. So I'm just going to start blending in the bottom of the sleeve there, just like exactly like the bottom there. So that is my idea. I had a bit of a, because there was a little bit of a gyuk there, a little bit of a slowdown on that. I really just didn't fancy doing the fourth bobbin, which I didn't even need to do in the first place. So I did a little palette cleanser spin, which is this lovely 3-ply sock yarn. This was before the Woolly Winder came out, so this is my last non-Woolly Winder project. But it is so pretty. I did it out of yarn that I bought in Barcelona Knits. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Probably not. God, I love Barcelona. Oh, these festivals are just making me so sad. Anyway, so this is a lovely, it's about 75 grams. I basically bought out a load of little bats. Where are they now? I don't know where they're gone, actually. I had a whole little chunk of little bats that I bought for like €1 each. Oh, there they are. So, and I picked out all the kind of orangey warm colours, and these are all the cool colours, which I'm going to spin next. So I'm going to make a pair of socks out of this, maybe shorty socks or something. Now it is 100% merino. It's not going to be like ideal. It is very high twist. It is high twist, and it is 3-ply, but it is chain ply because I was too lazy to think about another way to do it. So it probably won't be perfect, but sure, look at it. It's yarn. I've spun it. It'll be grand, and it's going to be stripy because of the 3-ply. So I think I just want to do it. I'm just going to do a little pair of stripy socks, little shorties, I'd say, because it's only, although I always have yarn left over out of 100 grams. I never use the whole 100 grams of socks, so I'll see how far I get. I'll do a toe-up sock. Do you think I could do a toe-up Pebbles and Pathways sock by Hey Brownberry? I really want to do that. I don't know if that would show up. I don't know if the pattern would get lost in that. There's like 2 little cables that run up the side. It's a lovely sock. I think it deserves to be a solid colour, actually. Yeah, so I think I'll probably just do a plain one in this. Sure, I'll see when I start knitting. You'll see in the toe if anything's going to show up. So I'll have a go at that and we'll see. So my next spinning project, which I've actually started doing a little tutorial about, or a little project specific video, is I've just decided life is short. Use your pretty stash. Also, I'm trying to shop in the stash. for obvious reasons. So this is a beautiful, sorry now. This is a beautiful set of gradient bats, 100 grams from Fellview Fibres. This is the Milky Way Rising Gradient set. And I think this is something like Canyon or something. Antelope Canyon Gradient Bat. And what I want to do, I really want to do this, is spin one giant ball of yarn with all of this. So it's going to be 200 grams. I'll put it on the large bobbins. And I'm gonna make a blanket. I'm gonna knit it with another yarn, because I'm looking at Opera Jo. She's knitting a beautiful blanket. She's knit 2, I think, and it's gorgeous. I think it's Curious Handmade something or other. I can't remember what it's called. I think it was like an Advent project this last year, but it looks absolutely gorgeous, and I want it, and I want it now. So I'm going to knit this big long color gradient with a white, maybe a white something or other, or a black. White would be cute. White would sort of pastel it a little bit, and the black would make the colors pop. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I want to spin this, so I'm making up reasons. What a great reason. So that's what I'm at. I've decided to spin this 2-ply, so I'm going to basically split the row legs in half and spin half, and then ply them both together. That's my plan. And this is where I am at the start. So you can see the first layer went on down there. I don't know why this is not reaching all the way over. Why is that? That looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like it is. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure that out when it comes. So those are my spins. We could talk a little bit about my sewing. I have been sewing up a few little face masks just for myself, for going into shops and things like that. I've got makeup on now, so. And this one, the elastic is a bit tight. So what I can do with that is I can use, except they're in my work bag, these ear savers, which is basically just a little strand of, I don't know, 5 or maybe 10 garter stitches, and then 2 buttons on the end, and you wrap it around, and these little loops go around the back of your head. But what you can do as well is twist this. So it looks a bit spiky there, but this one is a bit small. I was running out of space, so I cut it a bit small. So anyway, every time I sew one of these, I learn something new. So these are a little bit small. They might suit a smaller head, because when I talk, the jaw drops it down. So definitely go a bit bigger. Bigger than smaller is better. And this is just a plain cotton. I didn't interface these ones. I think the interfacing is grand. But when you wash it, it might not stand up. So I just went simple with these ones, and these are just for being in the shops for like 10 minutes, going in to get what you need and then coming back out again. So what you're doing is you are protecting others when you wear a face mask. You're not protecting yourself, because you're still, if you're touching it, you're moving it around, you're touching your face. So the best thing to do is actually have a little hand sanitizer with you, and just, try not to touch your phone when you're working or when you're in work, or wipe it down before you go into the store. Do your hands before you go into the store, and then go around and do it, and then wipe your hands when you're leaving the store. Literally, like, you'll be wiping your hands. You can wash your hands forever and ever and ever. We are humans. We will forget. There's no perfect 100% protection, but just do what you can. So this is my quilt. So this is my really big pièce de quarantine resistance, and this is a big piece of kit. So I I quilted it on my machine, and I just did stitch in the ditch there. I just did around you can see it on there. But on the edge, I actually started to do a little bit of free motion, which is super cute. But then I ran into a bit of trouble late at night when I was probably going too fast, and the machine was probably tired because it is only a little machine. So it started doing this. Now, I have taken it all out and I'm going to redo the bobbin and everything, but I just had to leave it for like a week because it was stressing me out so much. Like the rest of it was all perfect, you know. Oh, hang on. This bit. Like all lovely, really cute, you know, there was no really big deal. And then this thing. So I emailed my or I texted my sewing instructor, and she was like, it looks a bit crazy, could be I had a look at the bobbin, I redid the bobbin, I rethreaded a million times, and I'm just going to take out the bobbin. And she probably thinks I was just going a bit too fast because I really wanted to finish. I literally have this much to finish, just that. So I think I probably was rushing a bit, and the machine was probably a bit wrecked, so I've left it rest now for a while. So, but yeah, it's really cute. It's lovely. It's just like, it's a lap size, you know, you can curl under. It's actually quite a big lap size, really, actually. That could probably go on the end of a single bed, you know. Don't know how I'm going to finish it off. I'll probably do some sort of binding on it along the edges there. I left this enough on the outside so I could fold it over and just stitch it. I'll probably just do that. And I just used a bed sheet for the back of it. So, yes, it's quite nice. I've been seeing a little bit that the quilting industry, the quilting places online have been kind of panicking that they don't want their nice making spaces to be interrupted by politics. And I'm like, quilting has been political since the start. Like since the very start. Look into it. It's very interesting. Quilting is political. It is. Yeah. So I love that. That might be my screenshot. I think so. Mwah! Although is my lipstick still on point? It's traveling a little bit. Get back in there. Okay. Oh my God, is that it? Oh, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of books one book I received from a lovely friend, Ghislaine, and it was this jelly roll book, which is, what does it say? Another Can of Worms by Debbie Caffrey. So she generously just sent this to me, and I was like, oh, I love it. So it's so a jelly roll can also be called a can of worms. I don't know why, but they're two different places, I guess. But yeah, so a jelly roll is a big roll of fabric that is cut into 2.5 inches strips. So yeah, so there's loads of different, like these are kind of classic quilts, I guess you could call them. There's a better way to do this, but I don't know what it is. So I like this book. It kind of lies flat, actually. Whoop. 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 The stars, they're quite cute. That's quite nice. So yes, I have to get over the color choices here because they're really not me, but they're very classic. I like that. I don't know, I find it really interesting when you go into the history of quilts. It is very interesting. So another book that I bought was by Pam and Nikki Linnett, which is the Jelly Roll Quilts, the Classic Collection. And this is another kind of classic, but they're kind of so classic, they kind of look a bit modern. I don't know, maybe it was the choice of fabric or something. But these are some of them that came through. I really want to make one of these. Really want to make one of them. Like some of these, really pretty. Some of that. That's really nice. I really like that. This chalice. Then you've got whatever that's called. Can't remember. This is lime and soda, which is just kind of blocks. They're quite cute. And then you've got a tree of life and little flowers, little birdies. It's just really cute. Yeah, that one obviously has a lot to do with it because the patterns are all slightly different. Then you've got these flowers. I don't know what that one is. Oh, it's kind of circle, kind of Russian dance. It's kind of a flowing, roundy. So yeah. So general techniques then at the back. I bought a tiny iron. It's so small, just for quilting. What am I at? I'm traveling. So I iron so much, you see. I need one for traveling as well. It's only 20 euros or something. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Oh, I gotta calm down now. I kind of rushed through all of that. I didn't want to keep you for long. I know that everybody has been dealing with an awful lot in the last few weeks, but I hope you do get a little bit of time to get a bit of creative time. And to all my beautiful black followers, sure, listen, there's nothing I can say, is there? But I love you. I love you all a lot, so much. And all my white followers, just listen. Don't need to say anything, just listen. It's hard, I know, but just listen. Shh. She says, after doing a fucking 50-minute podcast. Shut up, Grace. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Sure, we all mess up. Anyway, I love you all. And I will pay my cat tax now. I've got to go and find the cats and get a few pictures of them. So I'll put that in just here. Just for you, Shirley. I'm really proud of it. It's like tiny little space, but you know, some people have no space. So there's my little potting corner. There's my little extra stuff corner. I've got loads of basil, I've got potatoes which are ready to come out. I've planted loads of Three Sisters in the one pot which are not going to work. So I've got squash, corn and beans, spinach, peas which are starting to pod up. See them there? Spinach which is bolted, loads of beautiful sunflowers, salad, rocket which has fallen over, flowers, wildflower bunches which are kind of really in the way now, but they are really pretty. A motorway in the background, chickpeas which are really doing really well in the rain, loads of tomatoes which hopefully will do something soon, flowers, more potatoes, a tiny apple tree. Oh, damn it. The one apple. Oh, damn. This one apple was just there 2 seconds ago. How did that just fall off? Oh well, I'll have to sacrifice it. And some strawberries, loads of kale. Don't know what I'm gonna have to start eating kale, I guess. Something's eating my soybeans. Like a lot. Like, wow. Wow. Some peas there, more peas, and some squashes and some courgettes, which aren't doing anything really yet. They're growing, that's okay. There's Toast. There's Toast. Hello, Toast. Oh, is she coming? You coming to say hi? Please, 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 please. Hey, Beans. You came in just in time. Well, actually, I'd started getting some stuff for lunch, and then I was editing as I was doing that. What are you sniffing? Show me your pretty face. Beans. This is very boring content. Honestly, you'd think he'd know by now. Look at this big fluffy arse. Hey, fluffy arse. What are you sniffing at? Hey. Hey! Oh, sorry guys, he's a bit boring at the moment. Let's try this. Ah, yes. Abusing you for the gram and the YouTube. Oh no, he really doesn't like that. Okay, go back to being a wild animal, as you are.